Tactical, focused, just like a top producer. Here's a sample from this week's Friday Focus on KGCI, Real Estate on Air.
In this tale of two agents, the agent that was able to, in the 90 days, was able to leave a full-time job, that agent crushed it. And then this other agent did not crush it. What was the difference? When we look at our tracking system, which I'll get into as a daily non-negotiable here in a second, the agent that crushed it, they tracked their numbers, they did the work, they did the number of meaningful conversations to be successful, and also implemented a lead gen lever that absolutely does crush it, our Expire system. And then the other agent for the first 8 weeks didn't show up at all, didn't track any numbers, didn't sit down and honor any sort of new business development time block. And so you can't trick yourself into thinking you're actually doing the job of a real estate salesperson if you're not talking to people.
The real estate industry has failed to create a clear path to time and money freedom. Having helped over 5,000 families in my real estate career and coached thousands of agents to scale their businesses, I know what works and what doesn't. And my goal on this podcast is to share it all with you, the good, bad, and ugly of building a highly lucrative lifestyle business so you can focus on what truly matters in life. You won't find any hype or fluff on this show, just real-world tactics and strategies that get results. You just gotta do the work.
What is going on, real estate business builder? Today, we're gonna dive into the 5 daily non-negotiables required for you to scale your real estate business. Quick backdrop to why I'm doing this training here. In our $1 Million Agent Method program, we filmed a testimonial of a member had a full-time job when they came to us. He worked on high tension power cables and actually had a pretty bad accident on that job and wanted to get out of doing that and pivot full-time into real estate. In his 90-day journey in the $1 Million Agent Method, was able to list 5 properties in excess of $4 million of volume using one of our lead gen levers, our expired direct response system. So that's one story. And on the same day, we had a member come at us like, this didn't work. And, I was expecting this, or just like a not good experience in our world. And I wish I could say 100% of the people that come into our world absolutely crush it. It's a high percentage. It's not 100%. So how could this be? We are multiple thousands of agents into this journey of helping agents scale without losing their lives. We are a systems-based organization. Everything we do is around sustainability. How could on the same day, one of our members just singing our praises, right? So 4 million closed, and they were all at or above 3%. So that's over 6 figures using one of our 12 lead gen levers, singing our praises, and then a member is deflecting the reason he was not successful, trying to put it on us. And this is what you deal with when you're trying to help agents, and bringing everything you can, all the resources we can to bear. And to me, it comes down to the daily non-negotiables. So I'm going to go through these 5 daily non-negotiables a little bit in a general sense today. If you enter into our world, these are very specific, and we have the lead gen levers to support the conversations. We've got the social media strategies and posts to support the agent brand authority builder. And, we've got tracking tools in place that allow you to make sure you're going to hit your numbers. But generally speaking, I'm going to go through, why are some agents just massively successful and why other agents are not successful. So these are the 5 daily non-negotiables. The first one is you need to talk to people. I'm an introvert. I do not get a lot of energy out of, being around people, talking to people. When I got into real estate, though, my first coach, and I was coached early on in my journey. I got into real estate in March 2007. I hired my first coach in April 2007. It was just a numbers game. And there are different types of leads that we generate. Some are higher quality, right? People that know, like, and trust you. Or, you're having conversations over social media, or you're implementing an expired or for sale by owner system, or, new construction system, or, we've got a whole bunch of others. The bottom line is, though, you have to have meaningful conversations, a certain amount of meaningful conversations every day, with the intention to get into a conversation with a decision-making adult about real estate. And so it could be you reaching out to your database and you're ending that conversation in, with something as simple as like, hey, Lars, before I let you go, I'm looking to crush my goals and expand my business. And the reason I'm able, to really love on my clients is that I have folks like you that are sending me business consistently. Who do you know? Maybe a neighbor you want to get rid of. Maybe there's someone at work that you overheard talking about real estate. Who do you know buying or selling right now that I can help at a very high level? If you ask that question of people that already know, like, and trust you, maybe they'll put you in touch with somebody. So that's a simple tactic. If your goal was to ask that question 20 times a day as a daily non-negotiable, you would be massively successful. So in this tale of two agents, right? The agent that was able to, in the 90 days, was able to leave that full-time job. That agent crushed it. And then this other agent did not crush it. What was the difference? When we look at our tracking system, which I'll get into as a daily non-negotiable here in a second, the agent that crushed it, they tracked their numbers, they did the work, they did the number of meaningful conversations to be successful, and also implemented a lead gen lever that absolutely does crush it, our Expire system. And then the other agent for the first 8 weeks didn't show up at all, didn't track any numbers, didn't sit down and honor any sort of new business development time block. You can't trick yourself into thinking you're actually doing the job of a real estate salesperson if you're not talking to people, right? So that's the first daily non-negotiable. You must talk to people. So the second is that you must be social. And not that I'm the best at social media, or even when I get into real estate, it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. There are very few top performing agents or even team leaders that their social media isn't completely dialed in. And we've got specific types of ways that we go about this for maximum leverage. You don't want to go into social media and just lose your time and kind of just like swipe up and like get mind numbing in a rabbit hole, just lost looking at other people's stuff. You want to initiate conversations. You want to, first of all, put out really valuable content. And then you want to initiate conversations with folks that are engaging with your content. And we have tracking systems around that as well to make sure that the stuff you're putting out is actually getting engagement. We call it our agent brand authority builder, and we use social media as a tool to build authority in your market. The amount of leverage you can get from, building your brand in a way that builds that authority, it's just a massive leverage point. So if you ignore that, you're not going to be successful. So we typically recommend, and we have technology that we use to post cross platform, but 3 stories a day at minimum, and then 1 live a day. And we've got different ways. Most people are freaked out by going live. Most people don't want to be caught up in social media. This is less than 30 minutes a day. It's just like anything else that's worth doing. You commit to it for the long term, you make it a non-negotiable, and you'll figure it out and you'll have fun doing it because you'll be actually engaging with people and having conversations with people. And so the goal is to put out the valuable content. And 80% of the content you put out is sort of just documenting your journey as a real estate agent and all the crazy things that you go through. And then 20% you sprinkle in there just the fun stuff you're doing, maybe family, or you might be into your faith or your fitness, or talking about your future and goals. And we have like 7 F's that we talk through. You're not just completely overwhelming everyone with real estate. You're just kind of like letting everyone know that we call it becoming the attractive character. So you're going to be someone that they're going to think of and easily reach out to do a deal themselves or refer someone to you. So that's being social. And we call it our agent brand authority builder. The third daily non-negotiable, and I have not met an agent that has succeeded at a very high level, making an unreasonable amount of money in a reasonable amount of time without tracking your numbers. We have in $1 Million Agent Method, we have a lifetime. So if you ever work with us, it's a 90-day implementation program. It's called $1millionagentmethod.com. Check it out. If you want to take a next step, we have, you'll get a lifetime access to our proprietary tracking system. We didn't build it, but we have exclusive rights to use it with our clients, and you get access to it forever, which is awesome. And it is your entire business tracking system. But it also tracks all of the numbers on the daily that are important. And you can customize it for things like social media, or if you're doing we don't recommend door knocking, but say you were door knocking, maybe around an open house, which works really, really well. But you can track specific leading indicators in your business, and also obviously all the lagging indicators where if you take a new listing, if you're working with a buyer, like active buyers, active listings, if they go under contract, lead sources, your profit and loss statement, all of that stuff. You can form a business plan in there. So you want to approach your business. And I'm talking about, these are the 5 daily non-negotiables. Remember, if you want to scale your real estate business, not sell like 1 home a month or 2 homes per month. You want to get to 3, 4, 5, 6 plus homes per month, but not give away every evening and weekend doing it. So keep in mind the context here is that, do you need to track your numbers if you want to sell 1 home every other month, which is an average agent sells 5 to 7 homes a year? You do not need to track your numbers if you're just going to haphazardly go about finding 1 closing every other month, right? But if you want to do a closing every week, you absolutely must plan out your business and bring it down to the daily activities, the leading indicators of your business that are going to produce the results that you want in terms of your take-home income. So that's number 3, track your numbers. Number 4, daily non-negotiables. So the first 3 were business, and the last 2 are more personal / business, but they sort of help fuel your ability to show up every day and do this work. It's a hard industry that we're operating in. The 4th daily non-negotiable is to move your body every day. I have a commitment every day. So I have 5 daily non-negotiables, and they're roughly organized exactly like this. 45 minutes every day. I'm moving my body. I'm breaking a sweat, a legitimate workout every day. It's not perfect, but it's like 95% of the time. There's been some crazy days where I've traveled, like I went to Africa with my son on a mission trip, and I'm quite sure in that travel day, one of the flights was 15 hours. So I didn't get a workout. That was a day where I didn't hit it. But for the most part, when I'm in my home office right now, if I'm not traveling, I've just got my time blocked in a way where I know that I'm going to hit these daily non-negotiables. And the whole concept of having daily non-negotiables is that when you do them on the daily, in the long term, the weekly, the monthly, every quarter, and they stack up into years of doing these, you won't even recognize your bank account. You won't even recognize your physical body. You won't even recognize your relationships, right? So everything will change as a result of doing these. So move your body. If you're not physically fit, it could be just going for a walk, going for a 45-minute walk. You could actually double down on the 5th daily non-negotiable, which I'll cover here in a second, which is to feed your mind. You can knock out, move your body, and feed your mind at the same time. And so I don't know anyone achieving at the highest levels, not only in business, but in their personal life, that isn't paying careful attention to their body. And we could go into, diet programs and different types of fitness workouts. The common denominator is that the highest performing individuals, and this is just in general, but entrepreneurs, people that are getting after it, you're an entrepreneur. You're going out there and you're deciding that you are going to, forego a safe, I quote unquote, safe paycheck from a bigger company, and you're just going to go 100% commission, right? It's an awesome opportunity, but you got to be ready for it. So move your body. Number 5 is to feed your mind. Either read. I don't read that great. I listen to books. And so this is one of my daily non-negotiables. It's 10 pages of a nonfiction book. So a business book or a personal development book. I'm reading Buy Back Your Time right now, which is the second time I've read it. And I'll listen to it on 1.5x for about 15 minutes. And so that's more than 10 pages, but it's actually better to, probably listen to it on Audible as you're reading it. So think about the compound effect. For you, maybe it's, you're going to do the walk and you're going to listen to a personal development podcast. You are legitimately focusing on a business book or something personal development related, and it's at least 10 pages, which I do about 15 plus minutes of listening. And so you just have to decide what it means for you. And those are the 5. The 6th bonus, and I really should have titled this thing the 6 daily non-negotiables. This one's probably just as important, if not more important than the other 5, is to implement some kind of gratitude practice. There is a physical journal that Also, you can just use the app. It's the 5-minute journal. I think it's FIVE. I've got an iPhone, so it's on my phone. Cool thing about it is you start the day with 3 things you're grateful for, and then you end the day with 3 amazing things that happened during the day. And you can attach an image into it. So the library in the app, the library looks like you have all these images, and you press on the image from that day, and it shows you the things that you were grateful for and the amazing things that happened in that day. Over time, if you implement a gratitude practice, you won't even recognize the psychology shift in terms of your level of contentment and fulfillment will drastically change. On my real estate team, we used to have our new team members do this practice for 21 days. So in 21 days, you will completely change your psychology, and you will have a level of contentment and fulfillment that you've never experienced before. So that's a bonus number 6. I will say the backdrop behind this, and one of the rules is that these are daily non-negotiables. These are not Monday through Friday if I have time. If you're like legit on family vacation, some of the business ones you can check out of. I've taken on my 5 daily non-negotiables because these are going to be a little different for each person. I'm going to do them every day no matter what. And so it is getting into the routine of not having to decide every day, like, hey, is this a day that I'm going to do my non-negotiables or not do my non-negotiables? So ideally, you're going to pick at least 5 that you're going to commit to every day, no matter what. I do think posting on social media, building your brand on social media, having those conversations, those DMs with folks that kind of interact with your content, I think is really, really important. So I hope this was helpful. Hopefully it was, presented in a way where you could act on it. There are some of you that just know you're going to take a next step with us at some point. That next step is not handing over your credit card. It's just having a conversation with us about your business, where you are, where you want to go, what's held you back in the past, what have you tried. If it's a good fit, we'll talk about it. If it's not a good fit, we are not going to have you come into our world if you're not a good fit. We've got plenty of free resources in our free Facebook group, Real Estate Business Builders. But if you know you want to take that next step, go to $1,000,000agentmethod.com. That's $1,000,000agentmethod.com. And so much love and respect for fighting the good fight in this industry. And we'll see you on the next training. Be good.